equilibrium. See, we have already talked about the term what is market. Market is a system which brings the buyer and seller into contact. And equilibrium is best possible situation. So best possible situation in a market is possible when the market, it means that when the market is running smoothly. Right? There is no problem in the market. And the market can run smoothly when demand for the commodity and the supply for the commodity is equal. Right? So simply whenever you are asked when is the market said to be in equilibrium, a market is said to be in equilibrium when the demand for the commodity and supply are equal. Now diagrammatically we know how a demand curve and how a supply curve is made. Right? In this chapter this will be the main basis of our study. You know, this is the demand curve and this is the supply curve. On the x-axis we have quantity demanded and supplied, and on the y-axis we have the price of the commodity. So this OQ is the quantity at which the demand and supply are equal, they are intersecting each other, and this point is the point of equilibrium and this is the equilibrium price. So you always have to remember this particular diagram. This is the most important concept of this whole chapter, and all the other things will be based on this diagram. And the process of deciding the price on the basis of demand and supply is known as price mechanism, or it can be known as market mechanism. When the forces of demand and supply are free to decide the price. If you ask what is price mechanism, you will simply write that when the price of a commodity are decided by the demand and supply, or by the market forces of demand and supply. Now in this diagram, E is the point of equilibrium, OQ is the equilibrium quantity, and OP is the equilibrium price. Okay, three important things you have to spot out in this diagram: the equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity, and the point of equilibrium. If you are asked what is equilibrium price, so you state that it is the price at which the demand and supply for a commodity are equal. Similarly for equilibrium quantity. So now we have simply understood that the price is decided by the demand and supply of the commodity, right? See, we can simply understand with help of an example. Suppose there is a certain type of book. Suppose your economics book, and there are 10 copies of this book lying with the bookseller, and there are 1000 students who want to buy this commodity, or say 100 students who want to buy this commodity, this particular book. So in this case we can see that the demand is more than the supply. So what will happen in this type of market is that the main bargaining power will be with the seller. Seller will be at an advantage, and he may charge a higher price. Like if the MRP of the book is 400, he may say that I will give the book to the person who pays me 450, and you can simply see that there is a rush among the buyers to buy the commodity which is short in the market. So this particular higher price can be paid by some of the buyers. Any buyer who needs it more will be ready to pay the higher price. Like after demonetization, you must have heard that there was a rumor that there is a shortage of salt in the market, and the packet of salt was sold around 200 and 300 rupees per packet, which is around 15 or 18 rupees in the actual prices. So you can simply understand that if there is more demand, it will lead to pressure on the price to rise, or shortage of the commodity leads to rise in the price of the commodity. It can be better called as excess demand. This is another thing that you always have to remember, important concept of this chapter. Excess demand is when the quantity demanded is more than the quantity supplied. Now there could be another situation, just reverse of this. That seller has lot of stock of the commodity but the buyers are very less. Then in that case what will happen? What may happen? That now see, the 400 book he might give you at 380 or maybe at lesser price, because if it is not, he knows that there is no demand for the book in that particular market. So again we can see that when there is excess supply, this situation will be known as excess supply. Then the pressure is with the sellers. Buyer is at an advantage, right? So here suppose you take it as 100 shops, there are 100 sellers, one book each. Then there will be a competition among the sellers who will be able to sell the commodity, and you might get that commodity at a lower price. These are important logics what you have to remember. Only then you can understand this chapter. And remember, in this particular chapter, if you have understood the initial things, then you can understand this chapter very easily. It's an easy chapter. Okay, now we have learned about the excess demand and excess supply. Now we have to learn about the market price. Next concept is market price, or we denote it as MP. See, we have already studied about the equilibrium price, but it is not necessary that every time every market is in equilibrium or the equilibrium price is equal to the market price. So market price is the actual price prevailing in the market. Like we talked about the salt, the actual price prevailing in the market became 200 and 300 at that point of time, but the equilibrium price was around 15 or 18. So market price may not be equal to the equilibrium price in certain conditions. It may be more than or maybe less than the equilibrium price. Diagrammatically, if you want to understand, see, this was the equilibrium price. See, this diagram is the base for all the diagrams in this chapter. First you have to draw this diagram for any concept, for understanding of any concept. Again same things, price on the y-axis, quantity demanded and supplied on the x-axis. See, now this OP is the equilibrium price and OQ is the equilibrium quantity. Now maybe the market price is more. Suppose this is the market price, right? So it means that market price is more than the equilibrium price. Similarly, the market price could be lower than the equilibrium price, right? Now how to see that what happens if the market price is more than the equilibrium price? There is a simple logic where the market or the price line is cutting the demand. That is the quantity demanded. Where it is cutting the supply curve, that is the quantity supplied. So when you look at this graph, you can simply see that supply is more than demand, or if the prevailing market price is more than the equilibrium price, it will create excess supply in the market. Similarly, if you look at the second situation, here this is the supply and this is the demand. So in this case, demand is more than the supply. So if the market price is lower than the equilibrium price, then it will create excess demand in the market, right? And you can also have a look at this point, better understanding. Here both demand and supply are equal, right? So these two situations we have to remember, that if the market price is more than the equilibrium price, then it creates excess supply in the market, and when market price is less than the equilibrium price, it creates excess demand in the market. And this is the fundamental logic how you can see what is the quantity demanded and what is the quantity supplied. Now we will move on to the next part of the chapter, which studies that how the equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity are affected by the changes in price. The equilibrium price and quantity are affected by the changes in demand and supply. Okay, so the effect of the changes in equilibrium price and quantity when the demand and supply are changing. We can divide it into three categories. The first category we can name as A, where only the demand changes. And supply remains constant. B category, where demand remains constant and supply changes. and category C where both change simultaneously or together. Okay, first we have to understand that how these categories can be studied, or how the effect of the changes in demand and supply can be studied on the equilibrium price and quantity. The first one says that demand will change and supply remains constant. Second, demand changes, supply remains same, demand remains same and supply changes. And the third is where both are changing together. So now when we are talking about A category, you should remember that supply is perfectly inelastic, or it will not change. And we have to study them with the help of the diagrams. Okay, because it is not easy, or it is not possible to understand these concepts without a diagram. So first we will move on to the discussion of the first category, that is category A, where only demand will change and supply remains unchanged. Here demand will change while supply will remain constant. So we can have two possibilities. First possibility is demand can increase, and second possibility is demand can decrease. It means that category A will have two diagrams, one for increase in demand and another for decrease in demand. And you will observe that once I make the diagram, I will automatically know that how it will affect equilibrium quantity and equilibrium price. So for the first one, remember the basic diagram. You have to draw this basic diagram. Again, quantity demanded and supplied on the x-axis and price on the y-axis. So this OP is the equilibrium price, and now just see what I have to do. I have to increase the demand. So simply